Hello, my name is Dr. Maryann Takemoto, and I serve as Associate Vice President of Student Affairs and Director of our Student Health Services at Cal State Long Beach. I'm very happy to be here today to talk with several esteemed colleagues about creating healthy campus communities. I'd like to have our panelists introduce themselves to you.
My name is Dr. Klaus. I serve as the Associate Vice President and Dean of Students.
I'm Angela Girard, Associate Director, Student Health Services.
And I'm Dave Sanfilippo, Director, Disabled Student Services.
Welcome to all of you, and thank you for joining us. Cal State Long Beach was proud to be selected as a winner of the Active Minds Healthy Campus Community in 2016. We were one of 6 campuses across the country selected for our excellence and innovation in promoting the health and well-being of our students. We have taken a comprehensive campus-wide approach to student wellness with a special focus on our diverse communities. Jeff, your office has initiated a program that focuses on a group of students that we don't often talk about, students who experience food or housing insecurity. Can you please tell us about the Basic Needs Program and what it provides?
Sure, thank you. Basically, a few years ago when I got into the role of the Dean of Students, I was getting referrals from faculty and staff that students that were in these crisis situations. And over time, the numbers continued to increase. And so I met with one of the case managers here on campus, and we pulled a group of people together to see if we could do more, because we felt that there was a need. And the college population is not something we would traditionally think of in terms of not having enough food, not having housing insecurity. So as a campus community, we came together and tried to put together a comprehensive program. And that program consists of 3 main points. First is the food, second is the shelter, and then the third is the financial side. So our students actually partnered with us right out of the gates with a program called Feed a Need. And that's where students within our residence halls actually donate their meals to other students. And we're able to put those on their ID cards, so those students get treated just like any other students that would be utilizing the food service. The next is our ASI beach pantry. So students in the student government created a beach pantry, and now thousands of students are using that beach pantry. So we've started with the food, and then the shelter part, which 1 in 10 students in the CSU system are experiencing some type of housing insecurity. So we knew that was really important for us, and so working with our vice president here in housing, they've set aside a room, and so we're able to, in an emergency situation, put students into housing. We also learned from the experience that since we do not put children into the residence halls, that we need another option to accommodate our families. And so we have some hotel vouchers that we're able to utilize. And then the final piece was on the financial side, because we know that students have medical issues that come up that they can't pay for. Maybe they have car issues when they're traveling long distances to campus. And so we're able to provide up to a $500 grant for students. And we partner very closely with our financial aid. That office helps us determine whether a student has fully exhausted their resources, and that's how they would qualify for the program. So that's a little bit about our Basic Needs Program here at the campus.
Yeah, it's a great program.
Wonderful. This program assists some of our most high-risk students. And I find it very inspiring that this program has been successful due to the generosity of community members and students themselves.
It's true. We wouldn't be able to run the program if we didn't have the outside support. We're very fortunate here with Dr. Rashida Crutchfield, who's kind of an expert in running the system-wide initiative about this issue. And so we've learned that 1 in 5 students in the system are experiencing food insecurity, but it's the financial resources that we have to have, because we can't use state dollars for some of this program. So it's imperative that folks come together. We've had a lot of alumni, faculty, and staff donate to the program, certainly helping with the hotel vouchers, the grants, the $500 grants. We have to use outside sources for that. So it is a key component in us running this program. And as a result of our community we really have served as a model for the other CSU systems. I know our office gets called regularly to consult on these, and Dr. Rashida Crutchfield, who I mentioned before, she's becoming quite the national expert, and to date she has yet to find a more comprehensive program than what we have here to serve students.
Wonderful. It sounds like an exciting program. Angela, the Healthy Campus Award highlights campuses with innovative programs for student health and well-being. You have initiated a program called the Body Positive Program that focuses on building healthy body image and self-esteem. Can you tell us more about this program?
Sure, it's my pleasure. It's a program I'm very proud of. Body Positive at the Beach, which is what we call it, is adopted from the bodypositive.org, which is a nonprofit organization that's been around for about 20 years, which began up in Berkeley, California, and still exists. It began as an organization that went into high schools wanting to talk to students about how they feel about their bodies and if they were having like eating problems. And so what began in high schools has really expanded across into the communities, college campuses, and now elementary and middle schools as well. So our program is an 8-week based program, which we hold at least one series a semester at a minimum. And any student is welcome to come who is experiencing any kind of body image dysmorphia, any kind of issue with their body that is not necessarily related to weight and size. And so these groups come together, usually in about groups of 10 or less, because we want to keep that sense of intimacy and trust and safety for the students. And we meet once a week for an hour and a half each week, and it provides a safe space for the students to talk about things that we normally don't talk about with other people, you know, either due to shame, embarrassment, or, you know, or the feeling of I'm alone in this and nobody can understand. So we went live in spring of 2016, and we've had some really wonderful success come out of the program. We've seen an increase in self-compassion across the board, self-kindness. We've seen decreased self-isolation, you know, that again, that feeling of, oh, I'm not alone in this after all. So it's been very wonderful and rewarding for everyone who's been involved.
Thank you for sharing your program, Angela.
You're welcome.
Well, I heard about a student. I actually met one of your students that went through the program, and she actually got a job, if I remember correctly, from being a part of the program.
Yes, it's a great story. One of our students, so let me backtrack for a second. When we first started this program, we did receive a nice donation from a local eating disorder treatment center. And it's called Center for Discovery, and they supported us and continue to support us throughout the growth of the program. And when they came to listen to some of the student testimonials, they pretty much were so inspired by one of the students who had a real true transformation, and they offered her a job on the spot, which ended up being her dream job. So it was a beautiful outcome.
That's great.
Wonderful. Dave, your office oversees the LIFE project, which focuses on students on the autism spectrum. Can you tell us more about this program, how it got started and what it includes?
Well, kind of like you've heard from the other two, we kind of started it from smoke and mirrors. We didn't have a lot of funding, but the generous donation and the volunteerism from some of our students started this program. We saw a need. We saw that we knew that the numbers were growing in terms of the autism spectrum students. And it grew, I say within the last 5 years, it's grown almost 250%. And that's because 10 years ago, it was 1 in 2,500 individuals would have autism. Now it's 1 in 68. So that increase in identification and recognition of autism has seen an increase for us as well. And so we realized that there had to be a whole new set of services for students on the autism spectrum. You know, we have some traditional services that support them, but this was social navigation that really had to take place. Being able to kind of navigate the college minefield of social interaction was difficult for many of these students who have autism. So we recognized that we needed to develop a program of services and support for those students. And so we offer coaching, we started doing lunches and playing board games because that was a way of socially interacting with others. And we still have a part of that as part of the program, but it's worked more into workshops on social integration in terms of dating, in terms of friendships. How do you evaluate if a student is a friend or if they're just an acquaintance, and how you measure that? So it's really evolved that now I think there's like 28 other campuses that are using the model that we've developed across the United States to work with students at the college level who are on the autism spectrum.
I know in my role as a Dean of Students, I've referred a number of students to Dave's program because there are issues that come up, and this has been very helpful for all of us.
We do a training program that I think has been helpful to the campus called Autism Ally, and part of that training is to really understand how the perception of a student who's on the spectrum, how they view life and how they see life, so that there's an understanding and a help. And we trained the whole police department on campus, and they've done a marvelous job in helping us out in some really difficult situations, work with students.
I would imagine that some faculty have difficulty understanding the needs of these students.
Yeah, at times, yeah, because they're viewed as sometimes odd or different, or sometimes confrontational, and so we have to work with faculty and educate that these students really just see things a little differently, and so we'll work with them on helping them to see it differently if you can take a look at them differently as well.
And how is it that this program has spread to other campuses, Dave?
Well, the staff has developed a handbook over the years, and kind of from what they've learned and through the training and through the actual experiences we've had. So now we offer this training manual for other campuses so that we could share with them, and it's a dynamic handbook that changes as we learn too.
Okay. We have about 30 seconds left here, Dave, so just to wrap up, it sounds like this program is one that started because of a need that you had for our campus.
Correct.
And now that it's been very successful and spread to other campuses.
Yeah, we're grateful for that, but we're grateful more importantly to the support we've gotten from the university, from the students as well.
Great. Okay. At this time, we're going to take a short break.
Get involved. Become a leader in the well-being of our nation, actively lending your voice and energy to promote wellness. Be the voice for public education and health education in schools, community organizations, hospitals, and clinics. You can become part of this exciting field with a degree from Cal State Long Beach.
We are returning to continue our discussion of health and wellness on the college campus. We've been fortunate to have campus leaders such as President Jane Connolly and Vice President Carmen Taylor, who have been champions for health and wellness for the entire community. Under President Connolly's leadership, the Breathe campaign was implemented in 2016, making us a smoke and tobacco-free campus. Angela, you've been involved with this initiative. Can you tell us a little bit more about it?
Sure, it's my pleasure. So in spring 2013, the student body at Cal State Long Beach voted that they wanted stricter policies around smoking on the campus. And so in the winter of 2015, I was asked to be on the Smoke and Tobacco Free Task Force for the campus, and we started meeting monthly. We came together, we put together a draft policy, excuse me, and over the course of that year, the president received the policy, reviewed it, approved it, and then we began marketing strategies. And like you said, in September of 2016, we went live with our new policy on campus. We are against smoke and tobacco free, which includes not only cigarettes, but e-cigarettes, hookahs, etc. And so far, I mean, we're almost done with our first academic year, and it's been quite successful. Obviously, education is a huge part of this learning curve. And so what the Breathe campaign, that's what we are, has done is assign 16 fresh air advocates to essentially roam around campus, different areas, in particular those hot spots where students and staff and faculty have been known.
Are those the students in those green shirts?
Yes,
Oh, very good.
exactly. So they usually, you'll see them in pairs in different areas of
They're
campus.
very good about watching too.
Yes, they are. And they will walk up to someone who is perhaps smoking or vaping and educate them, and just education in general, you know, letting them know why we're doing this, how it's really for the health and wellness of everyone on campus. And in addition, the Student Health Services has been very much involved because we provide free smoking and tobacco cessation programs for our staff, faculty, and students. And we've been very happy with the turnout. We've had quite a few staff and students come and really express an interest in wanting to stop smoking. So it's been really, it's been great. We're very happy about the outcome.
Great. I understand that the president has received quite a few positive comments from community members too about this initiative, and also the fact that we don't have to have secondhand smoke on campus that people go through. So thank you for your work in that area.
Yeah.
Dave, mental health issues are a significant issue on many college campuses, including ours. We're seeing more students with anxiety, depression, and other mental health issues. What trends are you seeing in your students?
Yeah, like you said, it's across the United States where we see the concerns. And we see it here, and we've seen it here over the last 5 years. That population has become the largest categorical population that we in Disabled Student Services serve. So we've seen a steady rise and a steady increase in things like panic attacks, anxiety disorders, and PTSD. And so we really have worked to provide more and more services for those kinds of students, including a case manager who oversees and makes sure that we have continuity of care for our students, so that there is a clear, I have a statement that I always say that students don't care how much you know till they know how much you care. And we really try to preach that to our staff and work with other elements of the university, like Jeff's office and Health Center, and a number of other programs on campus. Project Ocean is a campus program that started as a grant and was to promote mental health awareness and mental health seeking help. Also a suicide prevention program. And we've really tried to work on that. We have some work to do still, especially in some cultural groups, but I think we've come a long way, and we will continue to work to help people get the help they need and seek help when they need it.
One of the things that I'm hearing from all of you is that collaboration seems to be very important in terms of our work with students, in terms of mental health issues.
Oh yeah, truly important. Jeff oversees the CARES committee, which is, and Jeff can talk a little bit more about that, but really CARES is a bringing together the resources of the campus to make sure we don't miss somebody who needs the help. I mean,
with over 37,000 students, it would be easy for someone to fall through the cracks. So we do have a CARES team where students, faculty, and staff can refer students that they're concerned about. And so this really runs the gamut in terms of maybe a student's been missing from class, maybe they're acting differently than what they normally have, and so there's heightened concern, and so we pull a team of folks together, key leaders, university police, the director of our counseling center, housing, just the key folks that need to be there. We review the cases on a case-by-case basis, and we've had some great results. There's the one where the student was suicidal, and based on our team's recommendation, we were able to get them the referrals that they needed, and they've now gone on to law school and graduated.
Georgetown University. And it is that continuity of care that we work with all the programs to really create a touch point for students, so that there's a place that they know they can go to and somebody cares enough about them, no pun intended, but yes intended, that really cares about them enough to see them through whatever difficulty they may be going through.
I've referred about 2 students to the CARES program, and they've been doing well. So I'm very grateful for this program. Yeah.
We know that stress is the #1 factor that students report in terms of impacting their academic success. That often gets in the way. And so I know as a campus we are doing quite a bit to try to help students cope with stress. Do any of you want to talk about some of the programs you're affiliated with?
Angela's got some great ones.
Yeah, the Health Center has quite a few programs to assist students in stress reduction. So probably right now our most exciting is that we've begun offering free acupuncture services to students. And it's become very popular, and the students will come back for repeat sessions to really get the true benefits out of the service. So that's been successful so far. We have a yoga for healing program. It's an 8-week based yoga and trauma-informed yoga program, where students who have experienced some kind of sexual assault or have become victims of domestic violence can come and work through some of that trauma through a yoga practice. We also have a 6-week yoga for mood practice, which is for stress reduction and also for smoking cessation for anyone who is interested. And let's see, what else do we have? We have acupuncture, we have nutrition counseling that we offer through the Health Center, and of course our Body Positive program. And so yeah, we've got quite a few things going. Oh, we also have mindfulness, which has also become pretty popular. It's a 4-week program where students come and they learn different methods of performing mindfulness, so meditation. So it's been great, yeah.
I mean, we also have like more traditional type programs like our club sports programs that students can get involved with. We have about 48 teams on our campus, which is the largest in the CSU system. Certainly our rec center, which is really popular amongst the students. There's over 220,000 visits to the center every year. And also with the, they have been running a program called Owen's Condition for Tuition. And they had over 6,000 students sign up for it. And if students work out 50 times during the course of the semester, their name gets entered into a raffle to win free tuition.
Yeah, we've seen a real success with getting our students to exercise, thinking about how exercise can be a part of that. Through Project Ocean, we do a couple of things. One of them is Live Your Life Day, which is a day in which we kind of just celebrate how you live your life and how you make other healthy choices for your life. And so that's really important for us to look at that day, because we strategically put it right after spring break and just before finals, so the students can get some breath of fresh air type things.
Dave, I know that your office also oversees an emotional support animal program. Can you tell people a little bit about that?
Yeah, it's become very popular for students, more and more of our students, because of the rise in mental health concerns. We see students using more and more emotional support animals, as well as the traditional service animals. But we probably have somewhere around 45 animals on campus now that help support students, either in service or in emotional support.
Wow.
And we help students navigate the paperwork that they need, and we even give them an ID card with their dog's picture on it, so that they know that they've been vetted through us and they are a legitimate reason for being on campus.
Dave, what is the #1 issue that your office and Disabled Student Services is facing?
Well, I think it is really the mental health element in terms of knowing how to help students, especially during these times that we find just before finals, when you have a combination sometimes of finals and holidays. Those mixed together can create some interesting chemistry for students that makes it really challenging for them. So being able to just know that it's a safe place to come to, or they have other safe places to come to on campus, is really a significant issue. That caring part. I mean, we talk about student success a lot, but that caring element, that student significance as well, is, I think, really important.
It's really great to hear about all the different resources that are available to students. I think one thing we realize is that there are multiple pathways for students to get assistance and support on the campus through specialized services, through other offices on campus. We do have counseling and psychological services as well.
Well, one of the great things with our counseling center is that students can get appointments on campus, but then even after hours, 5:01 p.m. all the way weekends, nights, they can call the phone line and actually talk to a live counselor. So I think that's
critical.
Recognizing that is an issue, the stress,
And
but
it doesn't
that
just happen at 8 to 5.
Exactly.
We need to be able to be aware of students all the time.
Yeah.
Jeff, can you also speak briefly about the importance of engagement of students to the campus in terms of different organizations in our last 30 seconds or so, how that is utilized by our students?
Sure. We have over 300 student organizations on campus, and research has really consistently proven that students that are engaged in campus life, they have a better experience, which that's not surprising, but they also get better grades and they're more likely to graduate. So there are tangible benefits for connecting to the campus, and we have a very vibrant campus life at Cal State Long Beach.
Yes.
Clearly, you are all doing some very innovative and outstanding work in the area of health and wellness. I would like to thank all of our panelists for joining us today, and I now see why you are all so deserving of the Healthy Campus Award that you've received last year. So thank you for being with us today.
Thank you.